Okay, welcome back. You know, taking time off for the holidays and traveling for some of these great assignments like CES 2020 can really clear out the mental and emotional stress of all those annoying things we have to deal with throughout the year. Yeah. Speaking of which, here's Trtan back time.
If I could turn back time.
Why, thank you, Joy.
Just saying.
Okay, here goes our trip through history. January 13th. 1930, Mickey Mouse comic strip. After the success of the animated classic Steamboat Willie, the newspaper comic strip of Mickey Mouse debuts. It runs all the way to the 90s. 1920, a New York Times editorial mocks Robert Goddard, the father of rocketry, okay, stating that rockets will never fly in space and saying that he only seems to lack the knowledge ladled out daily in high schools. They issued an apology in 1969 after Apollo 11. Happy birthday to Charles Nelson Riley, born in 1931. Tony Award-winning actor, comedian, game show celebrity. You remember him from Match Game, probably. This is something I didn't know about him. When he was 13 years old, he survived the circus disaster known as the Day the Clowns Cried, in which 168 people died when a circus tent caught fire. He could never sit in an audience again after that.
Oh, that's really sad. I didn't know that.
I didn't know
I remember
either.
him from Match Game when I was a kid. Yeah, he was funny.
All right, January 14, 1973, Elvis Presley makes TV history when he claimed an estimated 1.5 billion viewers worldwide tuned in to watch the live broadcast of Elvis's Aloha from Hawaii via satellite. The estimated viewership is somewhat inflated considering there were less than 1 billion total viewers in the countries in which it aired. The concert also was a way for Elvis to perform live overseas because his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, was an illegal immigrant and feared if he tried to leave the country, he might be deported back to his native Holland. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Happy birthday to Ken Sailors. 1921 was his birth year. American pro basketball player, college player of the year in 1943. At 5 foot 10 inches, he popularized the jump shot, playing against his much taller brother. January 15, 1967, the first Super Bowl. The NFL's Green Bay Packers beat the AFL's Kansas City Chiefs 35-10 at Los Angeles in the first AFL NFL.
There you said it.
American Football League, National Football League, World Championship game. It wasn't called the Super Bowl until later. It also remains the only Super Bowl simulcast by 2 networks, with NBC having rights to the AFL, CBS to the NFL games. It was broadcast
and
on
it was
2
the Chiefs
networks.
and the Packers?
Packers and the Chiefs.
Interesting.
Happy birthday to Lloyd Bridges, born in 1913, American actor. He had a show called Sea Hunt on television, if you also remember him from Airplane.
Yes.
A lot of things he did. He's the father of Bo and Jeff Bridges. Interestingly enough, I used to watch this show all the time. Sea Hunt, he was a skin diver. And my parents had to be called to school because I would not answer the teacher unless she called me Mike Nelson, which was the character he played.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding. I'm not kidding. All right, January 16th, 1992. Vice President Dan Quayle states, George Bush will lead this country out of this recovery. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Ethel Zimmerman, better known as Ethel Merman, born in 1908. American singer, actress. For 30 years, she reigned as the Queen of Broadway. Also to Frank J. Zamboni, born in 1901. He invented the Zamboni ice surface machine, you know, you use in skating and hockey rinks worldwide. January 17th, Donnie the Stormin' Mormon versus Danny the Dude Bonaducci. They slug it out in a charity boxing match. Danny wins a 2-to-1 decision over Donnie. So it was Danny over Donnie in that one. A happy birthday in 1942 to Muhammad Ali, 3-time world heavyweight champion, 64 to 67, 74 to 78, 78 and 79, considered one of the greatest boxers of all time. And a happy birthday to Scarface, Al Capone, born in 1899. The FBI estimates this gangster made $105 million in 1927 alone. Served time in Alcatraz for tax evasion, died penniless of a brain hemorrhage at home in Miami, Florida.
It's always the tax man that brings him
That's
down,
what got
isn't
him.
it?
It wasn't all the murders and the St.
Always
Valentine's
that.
Day massacre. No, they got him on taxes.
Almost
Right.
always.
Finally, this. Where does the phrase "go the whole 9 yards" come from? You've heard that phrase?
Oh, yeah.
You know where that comes from?
Nope.
Okay. World War II, fighter pilots. The ammunition was on those long bands. There were 9 yards.
Really?
So if you did everything you could, you went the whole 9 yards.
Let him have it. The
Yep.
whole 9 yards. Had no idea.
That wraps it up for the triumphant return of Trtan Back Time.
If I could turn